All right, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Stealing Your Attention, or Morgan Mindfulness here. And this is fucked up theories from the safety of my own bed. So, for starters, everything in this series is just a perspective. Maybe even a little bit more than that, but at most, they're my opinions. So we'll get that out there. Hate me if you want. Matter of fact, if you do, I prefer you even let me know down in the comments down below. Even leave a dislike on this video. Would love it. And if you like this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm thinking I'm about doing more content like this, and so if you guys do that, it'll let me know to do more content like this. So, today's fucked up theory is about danger. So, when I look at today's current society, it looks like we've kind of got to the epitome of trying to avoid danger. And what I mean by that is if we look at humans from hunter-gatherer to where we're at now, time scale, at first, like, we had all of these dangers where we didn't know if we were going to make it through tomorrow, ever. Um, Even like the most skilled hunter could be at risks of dying tomorrow. And if you're a tribesman, or like just if you were maybe not a warrior or somebody in the tribe who was a child who was too young to be hunting, then just an attack on your encampment by a wild creature could have ended your life. So you always had to have danger around the corner. And so as civilization has advanced, we've gotten better and better at protecting ourselves, and more importantly, for the sake of this concept, we've gotten more adept at trying to protect one another. And the thing with danger, I think, is here's the thing. I think what happens when we do that is there are some places in which danger still exists as a consequence of actions that come with rewards as well, that leave us in situations where we go, okay, I'm getting this, and I'm also getting this negative consequence, this danger over here that is affecting my life. And I think we've gotten to a point in society where we're trying so hard to take danger out of the equation and make everything safe that we're not talking about the costs of some activities. And so to take this out of the extremely vague sphere, we can just go into something really simple, sex. What are some of the dangers of sex that we don't like to talk about when we talk about sex being a free thing that anyone should be able to do as long as it's among two consenting adults? We like to try and take out the danger of the emotional costs that might be tied to that. We like to take out the danger of the potential human life that might be caused from that. And then on top of that, we don't even like to think about the costs involved in how much that's going to cost you to raise a human life if you decide to have the kid, or the emotional costs of the other half of that decision. And so, in a society that seeks to get rid of danger, I think that it leaves people consistently making decisions and finding themselves on the other side of costs that, had they had in front of them, they might not have made the same decisions. And maybe the wild thing is sometimes when you highlight costs, and so, like, for instance, if you're trying to quit a substance, like trying to quit smoking weed, sometimes if you highlight the costs of what it's going to take to quit smoking before the someone who tries to actually quit smoking, such as, hey, you're going to be a little bit irritable for like up to a week, maybe longer. You're going to spend 72 plus hours of being nauseous and without an appetite. You're going to be craving it nonstop. You're going to want to smoke nonstop. You're going to have to go through all of that. if you highlight those costs and those things that the person's going to go through, studies have actually shown that they're more likely to follow through with quitting what they're doing if all of that's highlighted. And so when we're part of a society that's striving so hard to try and take danger out of the equation, we start to take costs out of the awareness of the equation as a consequence. And this sets us up for, let's see, I was going somewhere rather specific with this danger thing. You know, I'll let that sit for a second. So the last place I wanted to take this was actually YouTube and streaming. So when we look at a atmosphere such as politics, it's a lot easier to wrap our head around the idea that someone in politics is putting themselves in the public sphere and they're more likely to be in danger, and that there's dangers involved in running for public office because, you know, you might piss off some people. The thing about politics is it's part of a similar game as romance and part of a similar game as parasocial relationships. And that is the seductive game. And when I say the word seductive, I don't just mean between romantic partners. I'm political relationships. Yeah. All right. So let's just look at politics. Politics. So a good way to look at politics is from the lens of romantic relationships. There's a bunch of different archetypal romantic relationship types that you can read about in a book called The Art of Seduction by Robert Greene. Throwing that out there. It's a pretty decent read. And a lot of politicians throughout time, including kings and queens and courtiers, and even more recent politicians, JFK, have fallen under these different archetypal classifications. And in these different classifications, there are dangers or warnings that come along with them that are like, hey, you know, if you're using these types of seduction, and whether you're aware of them or not, like just because you're using seduction techniques without knowing that they exist and knowing that they're effective, like if you're just doing something because that's who you are, and it doesn't mean that there aren't still going to be the dangers that come along with it. And so in this book, it kind of outlines what we know so far, at least what this person knows so far, in terms of what are the different techniques in this game we play called seduction on the wider scale, not just romantic relationships, but political relationships. And I think it really applies to parasocial relationships here. And that's my hot take there. My fucked up take there is that I think the danger, the costs of these of these jobs, such as YouTube, streaming, politician, I think we need to take them more seriously and be more upfront with them and be thinking about them more as we get into these different careers, and not be kidding ourselves that it's some problem that we can solve in a matter of algorithms and banning and cleaning up our act. You know, I'd love to be able to just say, hey, we're the generation who can do it. And I truly believe we're part of the generation and will be part of the generations to come that'll help make a dent in this problem. But at the same time, I think the danger is always going to exist, and it's because I think we need the danger. I think we need the costs to actually help us drive forward to get to the goal. I think sometimes part of what makes it as a streamer is the fact that there is that cost that, you know, you're gonna have to deal with psychos eventually if you get big as a celebrity or someone who is famous. Whenever you seduce the attention of thousands upon thousands of people, Eventually people are going to be hurt if they don't get what they were looking for out of the relationship, and people are really bad about knowing what that even is. So chances are they're going to come looking to you if you're famous in any way, shape, or form, and they can get attention from you, or they can give you attention in some way, shape, or form. They're going to try to come looking for this unfigured out thing, this like hole inside them that they feel, this emptiness that they're trying to fill that they don't really understand, and they're going to come looking to see if you have what they need for it. And the thing is, they don't know what the fuck that is. So eventually, when they figure out that you don't have what they're looking for, at least not all of it, um, they feel hurt, they feel slighted, and they move on, and maybe they'll even hate you for a little while. Um, but again, that's all part of the game. So thank you guys for coming to this episode of my fucked up opinions I get to have from the safety of my bed. This is Stealing Your Attention, Morgan Mindfulness, Attention Theft over on Twitter. Signing out. Don't forget to like the video, dislike it if you hated it, leave a comment down below. Scathing review, scathing love. I'd love either. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. This just in. I missed out a little important fact. The reason I said that we shouldn't be acting like this is one big thing that we can just go, whoop-de-doo, we can solve this with problem solving, is this is a problem that has existed for thousands of years. People have been trying to figure out, how do I seduce the masses without getting killed, for thousands of years. So if we think we're going to be the generation who magically figures it out, how we can seduce people without the danger of people killing us because we seduced them, that'd be pretty cool.